know, working like a government mule. They work you so hard, them jobs. And a lot of them places, they don't allow you to take breaks. It don't matter if there's labor laws. They ignore those labor laws because they know you're desperate to make a living, so you'll go ahead and work through the day without a break. They take advantage of you. They work you to death. And there's always people quitting those jobs too. They always have a big turnover of employees because they don't treat them right. But anyway, so a lot of times I had to work weekends, and I never was allowed vacation time. I never was allowed a vacation on any of my jobs. Other people were, but I wasn't. Other people got to stay home when they were sick. I wasn't. I went to just work sick because I wanted to keep my job. They expected a lot from me because I was raised up. My daddy raised me up with a good work ethic. And a lot of these these bosses, employers, they take advantage of people with a good work ethic. Instead of appreciating and treating them right, they take advantage. And that's what they did with me. They worked my ass into the ground. And then when I finally would quit because I was exhausted, they couldn't figure out why. Motel 6 was the worst. Motel 6 was the worst. All those motels care about is making money. The managers, they get paid extra. If they save money, any way they can save money on that motel and rake in extra money for the CEOs, the owners of the motels, then the manager gets perks and bonuses and stuff like that. So you know how they manage to do that? By working us to death. Yeah, they work us to death. And Motel 6, I was a maid there for a long time, and finally the laundry lady quit, and they asked if I would do it, and so I said, oh, yeah, I'll try it. And I didn't mind doing the laundry. I liked it better than cleaning rooms. But see, the dryers they had in there were from the 1970s. That's how old they were. And this was the year, well, it was in the 2000s. I was around 41 years old, I guess, something like that. 41, 42 years old, something like that. And those dryers they had in there were from the 1970s. And they barely dried it. All it took forever to get anything dry. And the managers were constantly on my case. You got to hurry up. You got to hurry up. What the hell was I supposed to do? That's how stupid. And that's how bad of a jerk some of these motel managers are. She didn't want to spend the money. She didn't want to have to call the owner of the motel and say, "Hey, we're gonna have to have some new dryers in." That would have cost money. I mean, it's not like them dryers would have just broke the bank, you know. These people that own these big chain motels are filthy, butthole rich. But every little bit of money that these managers can save on that motel, running the motel, they get the perks and they get bonuses and stuff. So she wouldn't report it and say, well, hey, we need new dryers. Just expected me to work miracles with them. And just gave me a hard time about it all the time. I was stressed out all the damn time. I was miserable working there. And then, oh, I could tell you something about that one manager. She was a bitch. I could tell you about her. But I'm not going to go into it. She ain't worth the time. Well, she was a damn bitch. And that's the end of it. But I hung in there, and finally she disappeared. And then they got this young kid, this real young guy. He was just a baby. I mean, shit. I think he was around 20 years young. Just a kid. Inexperienced as hell in life. So I thought he was a big shot because whoever put him in there as a motel manager, and there he was, just a dumb kid. And of course, we was always low, short on help in those motels. The maids are always quitting because it sucks. They overwork you. I give the maids, we would have an average. Each maid would have 24 rooms a day, every day to clean, average. One person cleaning 24 rooms. And that's why they would quit. So we were always short-handed. And so I worked 18 days in a row with no day off. 18 days in a row. I was exhausted. I was exhausted all the time and stressed out all the time. And it got to where I was having chest pains. And finally, one day, I had barely started working that morning, and I was starting to feel sick. And I was still exhausted. I would get up in the morning and go to work still exhausted. And I thought, you know what? If I work through this day, I am really going to be sick. And I just snapped. I said, you know what? To hell with it. I walked up to the office, clocked out, and quit. And that young kid manager, he just couldn't understand. He said, if you just hang in there, things will get better. If you just hang in. He couldn't understand. I was exhausted. I couldn't hang in there anymore. He was a dumbass. I tell you. I can tell you other stories about the bosses I've had. And not just bosses, but sometimes fellow employees. I can tell you some other stories. I ain't going to go into it all right now. But I can tell you, those jobs ruined my body. I'm disabled now. My back is screwed up. I have arthritis. And I just can't. There's no way I could ever have to work for a living anymore. There's no way. I couldn't even hold up to a part-time job. There's no way. And as time goes by, I'm getting worse. I have psoriatic arthritis now on top of my back and my joints being pounded to death from working on concrete floors, heavy lifting all my life. Now I have psoriatic arthritis, psoriasis. That's why you see all this shit on my arms. That's psoriasis. I'm eat up with it. Well, now the doctor's been telling me for a while now I have stage 3 kidney disease. And I can tell too, is when I go to the bathroom, my pee stinks real bad. Really bad. I figure, well, I'm going to live as long as God wants me to, and then I'm going to go to heaven and see Mom and Dad again. Life is an interesting journey in this world. It's an interesting journey. That's what it is, a journey. And I met my husband in, was it 2011? Yeah, 2011. Thank God I met my husband in 2011. And he was the Mr. Right I'd been praying for many years. That's another story. I was single until I was 49 years old. Me and my husband got married when was it 49? Yeah, something like that. 49. I know I was 49 when we met. I think I turned 50. No, I turned 50 before we got married, yeah. But we met 2011. Yeah. Thank God I didn't have to work anymore. I couldn't work anymore, and nobody would let me work part-time. Everybody wanted full-time employee. I was just wrecked out. I couldn't do it no more. And I didn't know what the heck I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to pay my rent, what I was going to do. I had my dog Lucy, and she was all I had. But anyway, thank God, God brought my husband along, and that's a whole nother story too. And miraculous how we got together, how it all worked out. But anyway, so I've been happily married since 2011, and my husband is a wonderful guy. He's really a good guy. He took me to Imperial, and we found and located the house where my family started in Imperial, and I took that video of it. Y'all can watch that if you want to. It's where my family started. And then he took me, and we looked for that rock house outside of Iran, and we found it. And I did that video. And hopefully to God, we'll be able to find that stucco house outside of Tatum, New Mexico. And it would be, if it's still standing, it would be really old. It might have burnt down, it might have rotted down, it might have got tore down, I don't know. I hope if it's still standing, we can find it. I really do. That would be grand. And of course, I'll make a video of it. So that would be the third childhood home. Sometimes it helps, and I've discovered this since I've gotten older. Things from my childhood that come back to my memory unexpectedly here and there. Things that I had forgotten about all my life, and I remember something, a memory, and it's like, wow. And it helps to remember some things where you can resolve things in your head, things I didn't understand when I was a kid, and the way we suffered certain things, and why did this happen, why did that, and then when you remember as an adult, as an older adult, it helps you to understand. You can look back on it, and it helps you understand and realize some things. Oh, it's pretty neat. I like it when that happens, and I cherish the memories of my family from when we was all together back then. But anyway, I enjoyed chatting with y'all, and tell me what you think about Matilda. I guess that's what I'll call her, Matilda. She's got stuff in there in her cape. Okay, y'all. Good night. Bye.